Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Mike Reid.
And I'm Dr. Clayton Roach.
We want to welcome everyone to our Ultimate Dinner Workshop webinar. It's been a long time putting this together, and Clayton, I'm really excited to be sharing this with the profession tonight.
Me as well. It's been a long time coming, so I hope everybody's going to be ready for a great adventure right here.
So, guys, we have an agenda for you tonight. So get ready to grow your practice by learning how the Ultimate Dinner Workshop can help you grow your volume income. Proven tools to educate your patients better. We're going to show you what those look like. Secrets to massively increase your retention. That's always been a challenge with doctors worldwide. How to maximize patient referrals. We all love to get more referrals. Steps to dramatically boost your income. I've never met a chiropractor out there, Clayton, that never wanted to make a better income. And tools to make you the wellness expert in the community. I think that's essential to really become an authoritative figure. And then how to get the most from this Ultimate Dinner Workshop on a budget and minimal time. And I think that's really important. Would you agree, Clayton?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, we put together an incredible presentation, and there is this incredible bonus for those of you who stick around to the end of this short presentation. There's going to be a very, very massive bonus that we're going to share with you guys. So just stick around, sit tight. You can bring pen and paper if you want, because we're going to share some seven-figure practice techniques. And I really wanted to introduce who we are and why we're doing this. So Clayton, maybe I'll let you open up.
Sure. I've been a chiropractor for the last 13 years on the East Coast of Canada. I've built a pretty substantial practice. We've gotten to the seven-figure mark. Educating people, the one-to-many, beta testing, a lot of the marketing that we tried over the years, and just basically honing in on our return on investment. And through trial and error and sweat and hard work, we built a pretty massive practice. And what we wanted to do is create something for the profession so that they can somewhat mimic what we've done and hopefully mimic our results as well.
And I have a global mission to make sure that every man, woman, and child has access to chiropractic. Why we love to create great marketing tools, why we love to do mission trips. And ideally, when I speak to doctors worldwide, Clayton, they've always said to me the number one thing they want to do is attract more new patients. And that's part of the success and the key to building a successful practice. So, I've been very blessed. I've been coached by doctors different coaches from around the world. And, I've been in practice 25 years, coaching for 18. And the dinner workshops, and I had this question I posed to you a little while ago. I said, if you had just one marketing tool that you could do, what would it be? And you said to me,
our dinner workshop, 100%.
And I would have to agree, because when you graduate from your chiropractic college, we have this sort of expectation of what we're going to get in chiropractic in life. And we have dreams of the big house and nice cars and the cottage, great income. And yet, when I speak to a lot of doctors worldwide, I discover you're either doing really well in practice or you're struggling. And, we have both ends of the doctors on this call. So, both Clayton and myself want you guys to close your eyes right now and ask yourself this one important question. Are you where you wanted to be today? Did you get what you had expected from your chiropractic college? And is your practice where it's at? And Clayton, I know, you coached with me for a number of years, and, I think you may have even suffered from that lie, in a sense, that you were going to have this great practice, and it didn't really shift until you had to really pull up your socks and kick it in a high gear.
Yeah, I don't think they quite prepare you for what's coming, and you think you can just hang up your shingle and patients are come in by the truckload, but that's definitely not the case. And over the years we've created stuff that we know works, and which is why we've built the practice that we've built.
So we have a few questions for the doctors who are on this call. I want you to take out a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write down what your average new patients are per month. Just look at the last 6 months in practice and ask yourself, am I seeing 10, 15, 20 more? How many new patients are you seeing per month? Also, what is your case average? Now, your case average is your visit, say it's $50 per adjustment, times the number of times you would see that average person. That might be 20, so it's $1,000. Case average. It might be 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. If you don't know those numbers, you should. That's really important. And then what's your PVA? Your PVA is your patient visit average. How long are your patients with you? And you can typically get that number by dividing the number of adjustments you have per month by the number of new patients that start care. So these are important numbers to know, guys, because we're going to show you how to shift all of these. And when you shift all of these, this is when you're going to get some dynamic practice growth. So a little while ago, Clayton, you and I did a international survey, and we did this global survey. We had doctors from Sweden, Italy, UK, Canada, Malaysia, Australia respond back, which was awesome. And in that survey, we were asking 3 questions. We asked multiple questions, but the 3 answers that came back of challenges doctors had was attraction. And they were looking for current effective tools that would draw more than, let's say, 10 new patients per month. Because the average being 10 is what I consider baseline just to break even on your overhead. I mean, internationally, you need about 120. In the United States, about 100 because of insurance. So that really just covers overhead. So doctors, in a sense, aren't profitable. The other issue they were having was influencing and closing. Challenges like presenting care plans, because every doctor I've met wants to move away from the paper visit. They realized that was detrimental to the practice. And then the other issue was retention. Every doctor I've ever met always wanted a greater PVA. And what are your thoughts on those, Clayton?
Well, the funny thing is that we always say, my community is different. This was a survey done globally, and the problems were the same in every country. That was amazing.
And that was with insurance or just 100% cash. So, right. I've said this for years, there are no borders in chiropractic. We all suffer the same issues. So we took these challenges upon ourselves. And Clayton, you and I put together some free training videos, and we started to look at, the challenges doctors had. And that number 1 challenge was new patient attraction. It's always been the biggest problem in our profession. And the impact that can be very detrimental to most chiropractors.
Yeah, so the impact, the low cash flow, the low income, the low self-esteem, and what happens when you don't have cash flow, you need to create it. So what do? You're going out every weekend, you're doing some screenings, and all that leads to less time with your family, which then, gets you further apart from what you basically had envisioned leaving chiropractic college.
And this is where most guys don't want to spend the weekends in a mall doing a screen. I get it, because ideally you should be able to take a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So we discovered that, and we want to share with the doctors on this webinar that the key to our success was really multiple pillars of new patient attraction. We had to have not just one thing going on, but multiple ones on a regular basis. And, the question we have for those doctors is, what would an extra 10 new patients do for you? If you were to increase your new patient average, what impact would that have on your practice? And for example, if you had 10 more new ones, I'm just going to go back a slide here. I got ahead of myself. If you had 10 more new ones per month at $1,000 case average, let's just say it's as low as $1,000 case average, what would that do to your practice? That would equate to about $10,000 per month. I want you guys to think about this. If we could help you shift from your current 10 to 20, or from your current 15 to 25, wherever it might be, that equates at a minimum conservative $1,000 per case average, about $10,000 per month. That's roughly about $120,000 per year. The average chiropractor, Clayton, lasts 42 years. Can you believe it? 42 years. So that roughly equates to about $5 million in a lifetime. So, ideally, when we talk about multiple pillars, I say to the doctors, and this is for the doctors I coach around the world, it's really time to make your vision a reality. We need to start making action steps, because the governing boards aren't doing it for you. The associations are not doing it for you. There seems to be, a lot of issues with doctors really having that life that they've always dreamed about. And the biggest challenge with that is that we see this major attrition, people dropping out of practice or struggling in practice. So Clayton, you and I went to work and we started looking at, the most effective tools. And when we get back to the baseline, the general keys of building a practice, we discovered that the meet and greets were critical, that the outside talks were number 1. And I want you to elaborate on this, because, you've taken what I've been sharing with you over the years, and you've just blown it sky high.
Yeah. So my first few years in practice, I was growing, minimally, and, every year was better than the last one. But, it really hit me when I did my first talk that, if I could educate one to many and have, 30, 40 eyes in front of me, that was much more effective and much more less time consuming than me educating one-to-one, whether it was at a screening or whatever, the venue was. But that's when my practice really skyrocketed, and I started getting great results. So what I did is I basically created more marketing to get myself more talks, and different talks. So I would end a talk, promoting myself as a speaker to anybody in the room that might want to invite me at their community talk, or at their their lunch and learn, or their church talk. So I closed every presentation by promoting myself to go talk for another company or another group. So that was, to me, what got my practice really going.
And I would have to agree. I discovered in my practice that it was the meet and greets, getting out in front of an audience. I know it's difficult for some doctors to do that, but some audiences can be small, some can be large. I've seen groups of 100 people at lectures. I know you've seen large groups too, but we discovered that the meet and greets, that the getting in front of people was by far, like you said, the one-to-many was by far the easiest way to actually grow it. So we asked one simple question: how could we, you and I, dramatically improve our attraction and income in the shortest amount of time? And really without costing us a lot of dollars, because as a chiropractor, you need to be profitable. You need to be able to do this and have a high return on investment. All right, so just see if we get this next slide here. So that brings us to our second challenge. And this was what we discovered from our global survey as well, Clayton, that a lot of people had challenges with getting patients to say yes to care. Well, meaning, getting patients to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm ready to start care with you. Doctors are missing some of the elements of rapport building, of influence, the ability to convert. And this is the second wing on top of what I call the new patient machine. And that creates a lot of challenges for most of the doctors out there if you're not getting, people to start care or to stick around care for very long. And I'm going to have you discuss this because I know you saw that shift in your practice.
Yeah, and you know what? There's really two ways, when we talk about closing, there's two things. There's closing really at a presentation to get them into your clinic, and then there's the closing that happens at your clinic to get them under care. And, that was one of the things that, if you can't do that, then I just call it a waste of time, because you went out, spent time, money, and energy. And in the end, the only metric that you're really measuring is whether or not they came in and whether or not they started care. So, when people say, oh, he seemed interested, well, if he didn't sign up, he's probably not going to come in later on. So that to me was the biggest thing, is learning how to close and learning how to get people under care, because if they're not under care, they're not going to get any better.
Right, I agree with you. So, the key with this is not only attraction, but it's also closing, because that was the second challenge the doctors had globally. So the question we have for our viewers is, what if we could show you proven and predictable techniques to better influence patients to start care based on your best recommendations? And we say your best recommendations because not everybody makes the same recommendations. I know docs that make year care plans. I know docs that do 6 months, and I know docs that like to do chunks of 12. So that's why we refer to your best recommendations. And we discovered, Clayton, that sort of stage two, we were able to bring them in the door, and then stage two was really solutions for influencing patients to start care. And we discovered that there were key and critical steps within our procedures that really got our patients to do that. I want you to start this off based on the Epiphany Bridge and the rocking chair experience.
Mike, I love the Epiphany Bridge. And basically what you want to do is, throughout your presentation, you want to create buyers, because a lot of people put emphasis on the close, and you got to close, close, close. But you know what? You can't close them at the end if you didn't create a buyer throughout your presentation. So the way to do that is to have people, while they're sitting down, say, oh my gosh, he's talking to me. And to make them realize that they need what you have to offer. So the Epiphany Bridge is when they realize that they have what you're talking about, and that you have the solution that they need. So, I'll basically tell my story in terms of how, chiropractic affected my life, which is, the third item there that you see, the emotional close. But then what I make them realize is that they have an opportunity to have the same success story I had with chiropractic, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So, what I do then is I say, look, if you take a look at your life and how you were 10 years ago, look at your life now, and is there a gap between who you used to be and what you're able to do versus who you are now and what you're able to do now? And, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a worry about what you're going to become in 20 years from now, or
Right.
what you'll be in 15 years from now? And that's what we call the rocking chair experience. If you can make those additions to your clothes, my gosh, you're gonna close so many more people. And that was an epiphany for me.
I agree. And, just those two alone, it allows us to get in that right brain, what I call the conceptual based marketing. And that's where we not only future pace people, but we start to, in a sense, be connected with them emotionally. And, the other things I also discovered, Clayton, and a lot of doctors are not doing this, is the doctor's report. The doctor's report really helps break that paradigm that they have about an outside in approach, like with medicine and drugs, because a lot of these people are coming and see you have been relying on the meds, and that's their only vehicle for health. We also discovered that we had to apply affordable and diverse care plans, which I mean in North America and worldwide. What is working is 6-month corrective care plans with a 3-month. Now, I know the doctors are listening to this, go, oh, I do 12 months. Congratulations, you've been trained, you know how to do it. But for newbies starting out, we discovered that to get at least a 95% conversion, you're looking at 6 and 3 months, which is more, in a sense, affordable in today's economic world. And then something doctors are missing a lot of was the anniversary reports and wellness care plans at the back end of that care plan in order to keep people on care for a long period of time. And I find that was totally invaluable.
Yeah, we see ourselves doing the anniversary reports, and we'll convert like 95% of the people after a year of care. If you're not doing that, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and people not experiencing the true benefits of chiropractic care.
Yeah, and that's congruent with how you and I get adjusted. You and I'll get adjusted, once a week for the rest of our lives. The question is, why shouldn't your patient? So this brings us to the third challenge that we had from our global survey, and that was really long-term retention. And with the issue of long-term retention, it creates a lot of impact, because if your patients aren't sticking around and you've got this revolving door at the front desk, that's going to lead to a lot of emotional and psychological issues for a lot of doctors.
Yeah, so the fear, the needing patients just to survive. It's okay to need patients if you want to grow your practice, but if the patient flow, new patient flow is coming in, is only making your bottom line just okay, then you've got an issue that it's definitely going to bring fear, and then you're going to be going into an event already thinking that you're not going to be successful at that marketing event, and of course what you think about comes about.
So for the doctors listening, here's what we discovered to help with our 7-figure practices. We started doing workshops and a lot of outside talks. And basically, we do a Transform Power workshop every month, which allows us to re-dip our patients on a regular basis. We also discovered that systemic and automated approach to communicating education was key too, that you had to have an ongoing education system in your practice, because they're with you for 10 minutes. And they're essentially coming in and they're going to be stepping, out in those 10, 15 minutes and back out into that world that's just, they're brainwashed by medicine. We mentioned in-house workshops. Talking chiropractic was key. So instead of talking about the weather, what you did on the weekend, and we talked about the tick, drip education systems as well was important. Re-exams and anniversary reports. We already touched on the anniversary reports. That's usually done 4 adjustments prior to the end of your care plans, and ongoing progress or comparative exams. Somehow every 12th or 24th, reassessing your patients so they have objective criteria to follow. And that's where we liked x-rays and things like substations, so we can look at neurological changes. And then I love this one, Clayton, that you have, which is your double follow-up. I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, so the double follow-up is a very simple procedure where basically at the end of any presentation, so whether it's an outside talk, community talk, condo association talk, whatever it is, we'll basically follow up with them as soon as we're done, just to say thank you for attending. Say, we're glad you engaged. We love, having you. We're glad you love the information. And we just wanted to confirm your appointment on whatever date they were booked. And we just want to make sure that date is still good. But then we tell them we're going to call them again the night before their appointment. So here we are the night before their appointment. They get a second call. So that's the double follow-up that we talk about. And that has basically allowed us to, see about 80% of the people that sign up actually show up.
So we're sharing this with you guys because we want you to really take a checklist of your practice and ask yourself, if you're having this problem, perhaps you're missing this one thing. And this really creates practice results. And, I'm very, very anal about my procedures. And that allowed growth of volume. It allowed a well-oiled machine of systems. I mean, we'd have doctors follow me around my practice, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe how you're doing this." And it was just a well-oiled machine. We also had empowered staff. That was critical. And we had what I called the perfect procedures and a lot of magnetic marketing. So, you and I, and maybe we're tooting our own horn right now, Clayton, but you and I have proven it. And I've seen you grow about, I think we calculated 175,000 per year over the last 4 years. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
So it's, when doctors say I can't grow the practice, I'm not getting growth. I just point to this guy, and he just basically does what's necessary and allows him to grow the practice. So, there's a lot of great techniques out there. There's a lot of great coaches out there, but there's also a lot of, in a sense, broken promises, a lot of hype. And, for a lot of doctors, that can be very frustrating, because we're not here to sell you anything, guys. We're here to introduce to you a system that's going to free you up, create more family time. It's going to create more income, more new patients. It's going to allow you to do the things that you want to do in life, and the things that we've enjoyed. And that really comes back to us asking you some very, very simple, basic questions. And we ask you these at the very beginning. What's your case average? And if your case average is 1,000 or 2,000, are you looking to improve that? So if you can get your patients to pay more and stay longer, does that make sense? What's your PVA? What's your patient visit average? Is your PVA, if it's low, if it's in 10, 20, 30s, 40s, or wherever it might be, you want to double or triple it, the steps that we just shared with you can literally make a huge difference just by educating your patients, the doctor's report, and the anniversaries. Then how much would an additional 10 patients per month be worth in your practice? So what Clayton and I want to do is share with you basically what we consider our secret advantage, and hopefully your secret advantage over your competition. So we have a few questions that we want to ask you. And those questions would be, what if we could show you a proven system where each patient referred at least one guest? And some of the doctors out there might be saying, "Oh, my patients don't refer, or they already refer." But what if you could stimulate your patients to at least refer one extra person? And Clayton, I know you have just absolutely mastered this. You've absolutely crushed it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that coming up. The second question, what if we could show you a proven system with Facebook ads that attract 20 to 40 guests to your workshop? And this is important because, for the docs who are listening, you need to be in the social media world. You have to be applying social media to the things that you do. And if you're not doing that, you're leaving a lot on the table. People are going to social media nowadays, and they're looking for the tools that are going to allow them to start, bringing in, or the prospects, I should say, are going to be looking for tools, looking for avenues, of finding the next chiropractor. And we've proven that tonight, just in our new patients, all three of them from Google. So the question is what if you could start attracting more through Facebook? And then what if we could show you a proven system that increased your volume, your income, and community reach? And this is important because when I teach marketing, Clayton, I talk about becoming the authority in your community. I think that's really important. And I know you've done this for quite a bit, and you're out there, and you made quite a dent in your community as well.
Yeah, and I think what I've done is basically gotten outside my four walls. I've been willing to do stuff that's different. And I know it's different because a lot of chiropractors start to follow me after a while in my community. But I've basically become, I hate to say the saying over and over again, but I've become the purple cow, so to speak, where people come to me because they know I'm doing something different, and I attracted them in a different way that other chiropractors fail to do so.
Right. And then what if we could show you a proven system that you can do on a budget in only an hour per month? And this is important because everybody on this call, they want to have more, they want to be more, they want to do more. For some of you starting out, you might want to be able to pay back your student loans. For others, you might be, sick and tired of a small house, you want to upgrade. And we've been very blessed because we've been in our, practices for years, and we've seen that shift, and we've seen that growth in what we've done. So what I want to do is basically introduce to you who we are and how we built our seven-figure practices, and we want to sort of introduce you to another person that we haven't mentioned, and that's Dr. Shreen Van Wagner Reid. Now, she's the owner of Health First Chiropractic and Wellness, and she put together the presentation, and she put together the Ultimate Dinner Workshop that we're about to show you. She's sort of like the silent person in the background. We've already introduced you to Clayton, and Clayton, you have another business called Adjusting Attitudes. If you can briefly talk about that.
Yeah, so Adjusting Attitudes is a retention system, and what it does basically, it's an automated email system where you can choose the frequency that you send videos to your patients. So we've created a bank of 40 videos that patients receive on a regular basis that we choose, and basically takes them from point A to point Z. In other words, from the day they walk into your practice to the day they decide to say yes to chiropractic care for the rest of their life. So it keeps them entertained, keeps them educated for a full year. When you do this automatically, so that way if you go on vacation, if somebody's taking care of your practice, you're still dripping your patients in the back end.
And I love it because I even use it myself in my practice. And for those of you who already know me, CEO of Chiropractic Masters International, been coaching doctors around the world for 18 years. We have a Jetpack Gold program, and just helping doctors achieve the 7-figure practice. So what I want to do is really just do a quick poll here with the doctors. And docs, you'll see something pop up on your screen if you guys want to play along. Let's just talk about your number one struggle in practice. If you didn't do our global survey, is it new patient attraction? Is it conversion to care? Is it retention, getting patients to refer, or making your practices profitable? So go ahead and just click on one of those buttons, and that'll send us the results. You guys want to do this really quickly. So 100% on new patient attraction, and that's what we found globally. So that's kind of cool to actually see that, though. There was no other answers there at all. It was all 100% on new patient attraction. So I'm just going to reset that poll. Next question is what's your number one challenge of getting patients onto care? So what's the number one challenge of getting your patients onto care? Is it presenting a financial care plan? Is it getting patients to attend your doctor's report? If you do a doctor's report, is it finding solutions to the pay per visit and structured care plans? Because that's a big one. And getting patients to complete their recommended care plans. Wow, it's kind of interesting. So 100% of you said getting patients to complete their recommended care plans. And that's frustrating, isn't it? Because I've discovered that those are the doctors that usually have the sort of pay-per-visit approach, and it's very, very difficult. Let's jump on to the next one, guys. It's do you have challenges with retention? And that's basically getting your patients to stay longer. You're talking tick, you're giving great adjustments, but are your patients sticking around as long? So we've got that split three ways. 33%, well, it's shifting. 50% of you said retention is not an issue for me. And I like to think that people are going to be under care for the rest of their lives as long as you and I are under care as well. I get adjusted once a week. So there's 52 times a year. Clayton, how often do you get adjusted?
Once every week, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
more.
60% are saying retention is not an issue, and 20-20 split on a yes and no for retention. And the last challenge, guys, this is a big one. Just be honest with us. Is do you have challenges with public speaking to large groups? Yes, no, or I avoid public speaking altogether. So 100% of you are currently saying, no, you don't have an issue. Public speaking, fantastic. Love to hear my brothers and sisters are willing to get out there and carry the message. So that's great, guys. 100% of you said no. And we want to appreciate, we have quite a few doctors on this presentation tonight. So good stuff. So coming back into our presentation, I'm just going to come back to the slide. Just one sec, guys. That one jumped on me there. So there we go. So we want to introduce to you what we call the Ultimate Dinner Workshop, guys. And we have spent the last 3 months putting this together. And, we can say that this is a proven system because we have been doing this myself for over 10 years. It says 10 years in the making. Performed hundreds of times. Now, I used to do these in simple restaurants. We want to share with you guys how we do this and how you can emulate and duplicate this very, very quickly like we did. And Clayton, how many of these have you given total?
Oh, my gosh. I would say probably between 60 and 80.
So, I mean, and we've got that system down. We've sort of made mistakes. So there's tons of years in the making. And what we did, we decided to put together a simple turnkey presentation. And so we created 50 short training videos with associated downloads. This is kind of cool because we took the videos and we created 3 to 6 minute short videos. How to find a restaurant, how to negotiate a meal plan, how to market it, giving you all the marketing tools, how to close at presentation, giving you the PowerPoints as well. We're going to talk about that. And most of those videos had a step-by-step download. So you can actually go into this and you can download the closing script. That's kind of cool. So it's like we've already made the mistakes for them, Clayton. And what I love about this is everything is in a download, or it's in the resource toolkit, a handbook, right at the very end. And what's really cool with this is that Dr. Shreen took this and she, took the PowerPoint. She's great at doing her research, and she created a PowerPoint of this. So you actually have, whether you're a U.S. doctor, a Canadian doctor, we have both U.S. and Canada, and then we have the stats that we made and put some of these together for some of the other PowerPoints. There's 6 bonus PowerPoints we'll talk about in a second, but if you're in a foreign country like Italy or Sweden or Australia, all you have to do is Google your country in health stats, and you can actually replace those videos. We also have a video walking you through the presentation, which is really cool. So I actually go through the PowerPoint presentation verbally, so you hear me give it. And what's really cool, Clayton, you actually filmed yourself giving this to a very large audience.
Right. What I wanted to do is just, create, the emotion. I wanted, people that are going to jump on tonight to really, get the emotion that's involved in creating these dinners. So I actually did it live, and you can see my, I brought my videographer, so you can actually see the faces of the people that are there and their aha moments as I'm speaking. So it's pretty cool.
And then we created things like in-office flyers to create excitement. So we talked earlier about the different marketing tools, and there's about 10 different marketing tools we've given you. So now this is for doing it inside. You can invite your patients inside your practice. And I like to do that the first 12 adjustments only, because that's the honeymoon phase. Now at your annual patient appreciation dinner, we'll talk about that in a second, you're gonna be tapping into your patients, but you're also gonna be using Facebook and going after a fresh audience. So you're gonna see that we're gonna have things like personal invitations that you can use inside your practice to give to your patients. There's also health certificates that you can use, because we're gonna teach you how to capture people if they leave your dinner workshop, or if people can't make it right away, you're going to leave them with a health pass that they can use to get in later. There's also postcards that you can use as well. I'm just getting a little ahead of my presentation here. There's the health certificates, but you also have postcards that you can use for reactivations, and reactivations are key. I mean, who doesn't, Clayton, love a free meal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you've used this very successfully. For doctors who are old school and want to do a print ad, I mean, print still does work. I mean, we had a doctor that was doing a diabetes workshop, and he was using print to get up to 300 people out to his workshops. So it does work. One thing that I love, and this is important, is setting goals with your team and having the in-office sign-up sheets. And I love setting goals with my team members. So if the team members know that they're going to get 40 guests to sign up, they might get a bonus. If it's 60 guests, they're going to get a bonus. So you can get your team involved with this as well. We also had other tools such as external flyers that we used for doctors who network or who have other different companies like health food stores that they work with. You can actually pass these out. And one of the things that I love is the big window posters or wall posters. So if you have a refreshment area in your practice, or if you have a big window and you have walk-by traffic, to put these large posters into your office in order to make it grow. And that also leads me down to, one of the keys with this, and that is social media, and why social media is so important. Social media is what I believe is like sort of the golden nuggets, the cherry on the cake. And what you guys see there is a social media landing page. Looks really nice, doesn't it? And that was for Dr. Shreen. This is Dr. Shreen's ClickFunnels landing page. And that allows us to draw people in from Facebook to our landing page to our email autoresponder. And our results are proven. Now, Clayton, I cannot make this claim that I got 240 attendees. You always take my stuff and you amplify it. You put on steroids, you make it better than I've ever, and I encourage my clients to do that. And I want you to talk about this because you just knocked it out of the park with this program.
Yeah, so we did an annual patient appreciation dinner, and we sat down with our team and said, what can we do that would be different? Again, the angle is always, what can we do that's different than other chiropractors in our community? So we got our heads together and we basically said, look, we're going to do an annual patient appreciation dinner. We're going to take our patients that we have in our practice. We're going to tell them to invite guests. This is a premier event. We want them to come in because we like them. They pay, they're on time. They've gotten great results, and we want more people like them. So we did our first one and we got 240 attendees, which blew it away in terms of what our goals were. But the most important thing is people talked about this event for the following 6 to 8 months. Like, it was incredible. People were coming in, say they had a great time, and we started 60 new patients. So that took my practice to another level. And we said, you know what? We categorize events that we do and we say, okay, we never want to do this one again. We may want to do this one again if we tweak it. This one, we want to do again. And so definitely this event was in the we want to do it again. And it was a cool experience in terms of putting your heads together and just wanting to be different and what can happen when you do that.
Yeah. So what we've done is we put together the Ultimate Dinner Workshop. Has over 50 training videos. It has 2 PowerPoints. It has a 40-page step-by-step handbook. It has the audio and the video of us delivering the workshop, and it has 10 marketing materials. So what we decided to do, guys, is to help our brothers and sisters achieve what we've achieved in success. And I know, Clayton, you've been spending time at your cottage the last couple of weekends. You've had that ability to enjoy and spend more family time. This is what we want for the doctors. That we've decided that we wanted to put everything that we have on the table. So we wanted to basically give it to the profession to help you guys emulate what we've had, and to take our number one thing so you can have more family time, more income, and basically, instead of be sitting around your practice, the ability to serve more people. I think that's what ultimately we all want to do. So what we've done, we put this together as the annual patient appreciation workshop. Now, these are some of the bonuses we want to share with you. Clayton, you've actually just been so gracious to just package your whole program, and you've put it together as one program for the doctors, and which is phenomenal. And that's just the program that you had just presented. Now, on top of that, you've also are giving some extra PowerPoints, which is really cool. You've got your kids' PowerPoint, so people want to swap it out. You've got your menopause PowerPoint, and then you've got your seniors PowerPoint, which is really cool. And then on top of all of this, Dr. Shreen and myself sat down and said, hey, what else could we give our chiropractic friends? And we decided that we're going to give 3 of our Transform Power workshops. So you'll see the menopause, you'll see the seniors workshop, and then the 3 Transform Power workshops, which is really cool. And I decided I wanted to step it up even further, and I decided to give the Prosperity Summit ticket. Now, you'll see on there 24 amazing speakers, guys. Every year we run the Prosperity Summit. It's in Washington, D.C., end of September. We bring the best of the best in the profession on scientific validation, pure philosophy, practice building, and social media. And, you don't want to miss this one, because this program is designed to empower the doctors there. Now, Dr. Shreen also is going to give the doctors who are interested in doing a detox and weight loss program a free year to her Thrive program. This is really cool, because the Thrive program allows you to run a detox and weight loss program. There's a lot of large people around that would benefit from this. Now, for the doctors who really want to take their practice to the next level, I'm giving them access to my Jetpack program. That's my online training. You go in the library and you'll see the 6 categories there: perfect procedures, magnetic marketing, conference calls, webinars, titanium teams, personal power, and resource toolkit. Now, I'm throwing that in, and if the doctors out there are having challenges with procedures or marketing or anything, they can go in there and self-learn. And that's values. Like, you can't put a price on this, Clayton. I know you talked about this. We just had a doctor who added $10,000 a month to her practice by being on the Jetpack program.
Yeah, guys, this is actually the information you should have received while you're in chiropractic college, how to actually grow a practice. So this is literally a practice in a box, which I love what you did on that one, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm kind of proud of that. It's like, they're my little baby. And, for the doctors who, don't have the capacity to coach with me on a gold level, they can actually go in there and they can actually just self-learn. And it's just 18 years of coaching. It's in very easy to follow video trainings. We're also giving the doctors a 14-day trial to ClickFunnels. So you can actually go and, when you purchase the Ultimate Dinner Workshop, you can go in here and get a ClickFunnels trial. Now, what's ClickFunnels? It's everything that is a marketer's dream. It's your opt-ins, your sales page, it's your membership sites, it's your cart, it's your email autoresponders, everything that you need under one roof. And just to give you an idea, we're also going to give you Dr. Shreen's Dinner Workshop. Now, this is the Dinner Workshop landing page that she uses. So you have your Facebook ad, goes to the landing page. You see it collect name, email, and phone number. And basically, it's the Dinner Workshop landing page that we use. And then what's really cool, it's got a thank you page. So if you take a look at this thank you page, on this thank you page, you're also going to be able to have your patients invite a friend. So it really sends back to the first funnel. And now you've got a perpetual thank you page that goes out so your prospects can invite friends. And, one of the things that we didn't want to do, we didn't want to leave the doctors high and dry. So we decided we're going to create a Dinner Workshop Facebook group. This is kind of cool. So the doctors on this call, when you become part of our community, our goal is to take this incredible product, Clayton, I think you'd agree, and make it even better. And that's our dedication, improve the videos, the handouts. It's already a phenomenal product. We've had a lot of the doctors who are sponsoring and promoting this come back and go, oh, this is an incredible value. So what we've done is, guys, we're giving you about $8,000 in bonuses. The first, the annual patient appreciation dinner, the value of that is about $19.97, but the potential earning value, which means if you played full out and got 60 new ones, you could actually do that. The 3 bonus workshops that we have here, they have a value of about $9.97. Those are the workshops that you have donated into this package, Clayton. Those workshops alone, if you follow our procedures and techniques, you can easily get 4 or 5 new patients in a night. So the earning potential, and this is lifetime, guys, you guys have these for the rest of your life, is phenomenal. Dr. Shreen has thrown in her 3 Transform Power workshops. They're my favorite, actually. So she goes, yep, let's just give them the goods. This is the anti-cancer code, super living with superfoods, and there's how to harness 10 times more daily energy. So that's pretty cool. I've also thrown in the Prosperity Summit ticket, has a value of $4.97. So you're going to be able to come to Prosperity, and you're going to immerse yourself in all of these cool techniques and grow it to the next level. Dr. Shreen's Thrive and Detox program as well. That has a value of $7.97. This is where you basically promote a detox weight loss program in your practice, and your patients pay anywhere from $197 to $297 for it. You pocket the dollars, and everything is automated to them. So it's really a no-brainer. I'm also going to give you the Jetpack membership site. The long-term with that potential earning, my doctors that are typically on this will report back to me just grew their practice $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So you're looking at about minimum $60,000. The ClickFunnels landing page, I don't even think I could put a value on that, guys, because you have a landing page. It's going to collect name and email. It's going to start building that base for your Facebook ads. If you're not doing Facebook ads, you're going to learn how to do this. And you're also going to get that 14-day trial to ClickFunnels. And I can't put a value on that because you can go into that community and you can borrow and grab different ClickFunnels from different people. And, the last thing that we have here is we have the Facebook Dinner Workshop Tribe as well. And you really can't put a value on that because you're going to be able to share with people from around the world. We're creating a community. We want our doctors to really get out there outside their 4 walls, start doing these dinner workshops, share on their successes, and share with others. So when we look at this, guys, and, we can brag about this because we're actually doing it. The total value of the bonuses are about $8,000, $7,997. Your potential earning value is around $200,000. Now, I'm saying this, the perspective, Clayton, you're just doing the dinner workshops and you're growing $175,000. All these other bonuses are just going to sweeten the deal for these doctors.
Yeah, 100%.
And, what we've decided to do, guys, we're basically allowing you to purchase the Ultimate Dinner Workshop for only $997 or 3 payments of $367. That means you can go in here, you can grab the dinner workshop, you can get the ClickFunnels, you get all the bonuses, and basically you can get started for $367, run your first dinner workshop, make it profitable, and the other 2 payments are a no-brainer. So the total value of the bonuses, as much as $8,000, guys. And like I said, you have options to purchase this, 1 payment of $997 or 3 payments of $367. And this is just an absolute no-brainer. We want you guys to be successful. We want you to be able to take this to your community, become the authoritative figure, to get out there and start speaking, getting more people under care, and enjoying more of the family balance and life balance that you and I have enjoyed as well, Clayton. So it gets even better, guys. You have two options there: one payment of $997 or three payments of $367. And even better, it comes with our 30-day money back guarantee. It's what I call the make you happy guarantee. I guarantee my products. You can try it for 30 days. If you're not satisfied with this product, we'll refund 100% of your dollars. You just have to show us that you've tried the product, and you can go ahead and keep the bonuses. So it becomes an absolute no-brainer. You guys don't even have to think about this. And you know what? Proven systems out there will give you that guarantee that you can use this thing, go out there and play with it. We recommend you just jump in the membership site, just go in there and start, learning these different techniques. It takes you probably about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 to go through the entire training program, and you're off to the races. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a cart just on the side here. And what you guys want to do is when you're ready to grab one of these products, we have 100 units available. This is known as the Ultimate Dinner Workshop. All you have to do is click on the button, and it'll take you to your two different options. And while they're doing that, Clayton, we've been speaking for about 46 minutes. We're just going to chat a little bit more about this. And for doctors who have a question, there's a chat box there. He's got a little hand. Just click on the hand. You can ask us a question. And any question goes, guys. So this is designed for you. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into this. And it's really designed to help you become a better chiropractor from the perspective of getting your message out there. So Clayton, anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, I just want to add, I think, it's important to realize for the people that are on this webinar that, this was created on a membership site. And the beauty of that is, like, you're not going to be charged more money for version 2.0. And, we're giving it all to you on a membership site. What that means that we have the ability, based on feedback, if you guys want a video, on how to overcome a certain challenge, we can add videos as we go along. So we're always going to be constantly improving the content that's within this membership site so that you guys can benefit from our wisdom. I mean, we don't profess to know everything, but we do know a lot of stuff when it comes to this because we've just done it. And we spent a lot of the money. We've beta tested a lot of stuff, and we figured out that didn't work. But if we tweaked it this way, that it did work, and we want to save you time, energy, and money. So all it is, it's a system. And, the acronym for system, if you don't know, is save yourself time, energy, and money. And that's what we've come down to, is we said, look, in our last, years in practice, what have we learned? And how can we put it in the program? And what we did when we filmed the videos is we said, okay, what are doctors going to need? Okay, yeah, they need a video about this. Okay, next step, what do they need? And we went through this system how many times, Mike? I mean, tens of times, and basically make sure that we didn't forget anything.
And that's important. We've had a number of doctors who looked at this and they go, you didn't leave one stone unturned. Everything that they need is there. So, for the doctors who are sitting, whether you're struggling in practice or if you're at a pinnacle in your practice and you're looking for that next sort of arrow in your quiver to add to grow your practice, I mean, to add an extra 10 or 20 new ones to your practice, guys, that's phenomenal. And when you look at the lifetime sort of a benefit of having those extra patients, you've seen the patients that are with you 300 visits, right? Everyone's got those patients. I mean, you can't put a value on that. And, that's what the dinner workshop is going to do. These are pre-qualified people. They're coming out to listen. And if they say no, at least they've got the message. It's not unusual. These people will come in, months later and go, yeah, okay, it registered. I'm ready to start care. But it's allowing you to hit the like you said, Clayton, one of the many, to get yourself in front of a group of people and deliver the goods and really hit a home run. And that's what I love about the dinner workshop, because it is a simple, no-brainer thing that you can use. Do it once a month, do it twice a month. You do it every quarter if you want. You get to choose how often you want to do it. You want to do it in a church, you want to do it in a community center, you want to do it in I like the restaurants. I like the Italian restaurants. Those are my favorite. I seem to do well. I like smaller groups, 25 to 40. It's more intimate. I have a higher closing rate. But I've done larger groups above 40, and it's a little more challenging. But once you get better and better at this, and it takes about maybe 3 or 4, your return on investment is extremely high. And maybe Clayton, you can touch base on that on the return on investment and what it's been for you as well?
So the last 5 years, I track everything, that, and we make sure that our return on investment is high. So that way, we're not judging on if we're going to do an event again or not. It's not based on emotion; it's based on stats. So my return on investment the last 5 years, the average has been 8 to 1. So I can't think of any other marketing event, Mike, that returns that type of value on your investment. It's been a blessing in my practice in many different ways. One, getting more patients under care, but two, it's allowed me to free time and create that vacuum effect so I can actually spend it, elsewhere, sometimes in my practice, but elsewhere, with my family and on vacation, and not have to be worried about coming back and worried about what my practice has done if I'm going to have to, do what's called panic marketing. And so it's created a lot of balance in my life, in my practice, and in my family.
And that's important. The panic marketing. You see so many doctors doing. You know how I always talk about the 12-month marketing calendar and get things organized and prepped. And a lot of doctors will do that. They'll come back and go, oh, what am I going to do? It's the 20th of the month. I've got 4 new patients, and I'm not going to make ends meet. And they start scrambling to do and put any and everything in their practice, especially for those doctors that just want to focus on chiropractic. And you love lecturing, you love doing your doctor's report or anniversary report. You like educating people. This is a great way to get out in the audience. And never in the years that I've done a dinner workshop, Clayton, I don't know your experience. I've never been heckled. I've never had a rude person. Everyone's very appreciative. Come out for the meal. I love to educate. I love to get out there and talk to my community. And what's amazing too is you get these hands that go up, and you get does chiropractic help with migraines? And it's like, yes, we saved another one. My son has asthma. Do you think I should take him to see you? And these are the questions that you'll often get at a dinner workshop, and not so much during the presentation, but once you start going around, you start schmoozing with people, and as your CAs are signing them up, the ability to get out there and mingle with people and answer their questions. And I love doing that because I'll get the people that say, oh, I've got arthritis in my hips, or I've got pins and needles. I've got this raging sciatica, and can you help me? And I think they're looking for help. They're looking for solutions. These are the people that are reaching out. And, right now their only choice is medicine. That's all they have. They have that choice of drugs and surgery. And, I was just reading, Clayton, that the consumer confidence is dropping about 5% a year in medicine. People are catching on. When you look at the drug companies, even though they're selling more drugs, people are innately know that this stuff is not good for them, and they're sort of dumping it. They're letting go of it. And we have an opportunity as chiropractors now to seize that day, to step up and really just say, hey, you know what? This is chiropractic. This is how it works. It's about neurological integrity. It's about structure and function. It's about expression of the potential within. It's about letting your body heal itself by removing the interference. And, we can help. And people are ready for that message. They're ready for the chiropractic message. And this is just one of those great vehicles to get out there and deliver it.
Yeah. And you know what, Mike, like if you don't get out there and tell your story, they'll make one up of you,
Yeah.
So I think it's it should be our mandate to get out there and share what we have. Some chiropractors that I speak to here, and they're struggling, and I say, well, what have you done differently, last year? And they tell me the same thing they've done the last 10. So, if it wasn't working 10 years ago, it's probably not working this year. So why not do something different? They're trying to recreate a definition of insanity. It's like, geez, get out of your 4 walls. They're doing antiquated stuff. They don't even know if it's helping. They don't track anything. And some of the things that I know in terms of public speaking, they might not be, they might be afraid or whatever. But I mean, this program, Mike, I know you've talked about, the attraction thing and how we get people to our dinner, but we actually speak a lot about how to create a presentation that converts, because that's the biggest thing. I think, the fear of public speaking, it is a fear only if you're not prepared. And what we've done in our videos, we've made sure that we quell those fears, because we had those fears. We started, the first time I was in a presentation and the guy was sitting in the front row and he had his arms crossed. I was like, what am I going to do with this guy? But at the end, his physique started to change. He started engaging. And when you have that happen once or twice, you're like, you know what, this rocks. And, to be able to change people's perspective, their paradigms, and have them at the end ask questions that, that they've listened and you've connected with them, that feeling is priceless.
it really is, and I think for most chiropractors, when you look on a spiritual level, every chiropractor out there wants to go and help more people. That's human nature. We want to help. We're tribal. We want to help our brothers and sisters, and I think it breaks us when we know that we've got one of the best kept secrets out there, and you've got a brainwashed community that thinks that outside in the drugs are the answer. And when you can actually show them the way, I mean, how many lectures, presentations have you given? You've seen this, Clayton, where people go, I've been taking this med, this med, this med, and it makes me loopy, or it affects this, affects my kidneys, and I urinate all the time, and I
Yeah.
just function. And then you go, dude, let me help you out. Like, just come on in. And then these people are like giving you hugs. You saved my life, and then they
Yeah.
live a better life as well. I think that's what we are in an economic healthcare war. And like you said, if you don't get outside your four walls, who's going to bring that message to these people? There's nobody out there doing it for you. Our associations or organizations aren't doing it. So it's really up to you to get out there and start preaching the chiropractic word. And this is what's going to get people to really come into your practice. This is what built my practice, meet and greets. When I first started way back in '92, I mean, I was doing screens. I was the king of screens. I learned how to do it. I loved it. But then after my numbers started hitting 400 weeks, like, damn, I'm too tired to go back in on a Monday because you
Yeah.
spread Sunday doing screenings. And then I flipped over to the dinner workshops, and I'd do these on a Monday night. That was my favorite night to do it. And I go, wow, okay, there's 20 new ones for the week. I don't have to do a screening next weekend. I'd rather do a dinner workshop. And it was just a lot easier to do.
You know what, Mike, you touch base on, it's funny because you touch base on the fact that once people get the care, they got, they come to you and say, oh, thank you so much for saving my life, whatever. When you start to public speak a lot and you do all these outside talks, you get that response after you're done speaking because people are excited at the hope you give them, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because everything they've heard up to that point was, oh, you're getting old, it's normal. Well, unless they change their birth certificate, they're not going to get any better, or they're told it's genetic, which they can't change their genetic makeup. So in their mind, they're screwed. And there's nobody that's ever offered hope to them. So at the end of the presentation, I've had so many people come to me, give me a hug, I don't even know them, and say, you know what, this presentation changed my life. Can I bring my family? So, it kind of brings me to a point where, I wanted to mention, and many times you'll have 20 people sitting in front of you and you'll end up booking 25 because they totally get that, they don't know if their family needs chiropractic care, but they do for sure know after the fact that after you've talked to them, that all their family members should at least get a checkup. And, that to me warms my heart. And, then you come in and you got to deliver on the goods, of course, but, they're excited at hope. Isn't that a sad thing that, you can give them hope and they're so happy, and you're wondering, like, why the heck didn't anybody else do this? It's just sad.
It's a nice thing too is that we've done so many of these, Clayton, that we've seen every opportunity here. So you're talking about the family members. When we show you how to do a close or a call to action, guys, we even show you how they can actually get an extra health pass for a friend or family member who's not immediate. And we've done this enough, even on the checkout, if people have to leave or they want to get an extra one. So there's multiple touch points that we use so that you can take one person, get like a family, or get a sister, brother, coworker on top of that as well, because there are people in your audience that do light up, they do get the big idea, and they start wanting to refer friends and family as well.
Yeah. And you know what? I go into every talk and I go into it like with a mission. Like, I know in that room lives are going to be changed. And it's all about mindset. We set goals, and I do the same thing every talk I have. I kind of prep beforehand, and I never go into it, haphazard. I go into it prepare. I know what the company is about, and I know what struggles they're having, because my whole goal is to get in there and connect right away. I don't tell them, thank you for coming in, I appreciate your time. BS. They're there because they're supposed to be there. They just don't know it yet, but consciously they were meant to be there, and we're going to deliver a message that they've been wanting to hear for a long time. That's the mindset that I go into it. And in the end, lives get changed. And I can't do that inside my practice. I can do it, one patient at a time and getting them to refer their friends and family members, which you have to do, and that totally works. But, is it the thing that's going to grow your practice, 10 times, or, I don't know. But definitely this is a vehicle where you can bring them in, and then, grow your practice from them, where you can still talk to them about referring their family members, but this gets them in droves, in groups, which I love.
Yeah, and that one to the many, it's nice. And the biggest challenge you're going to have is processing all these new patients. But we're more than happy to share the systems on how we do that. Clay, we have about a minute left in this offer. So if any of the doctors have a question, they just click on the hand down below. As we said, it's in the membership site, guys. You have 50 training videos, 40 pages of downloads, or one resource handbook at the very end. You can download the whole thing. You've got 2 PowerPoints, 6 extra PowerPoints to go with this. All the bonuses from the Thrive program to the Jetpack to the Prosperity Ticket to the ClickFunnels landing page and the ClickFunnels 14-day trial, and the membership site on Facebook where you can chat with everybody else, guys. You will not ever find a better offer in this profession than what you're going to find right here, guys. We're going to leave this card open for another minute. So if you're interested in joining our tribe of dinner workshop people, you need to click on grab my copy now. It's going to take you to the part. You can check it out. Remember, you have 2 choices in $9.97 or 3 payments of $367, guys. And you try it for 30 days. You got our 30-day make you happy money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, keep our bonuses, have fun, and you can go out there and do what you want to do for your marketing. But we've created 7-figure practices. I'm excited because I'm in Shireen's practice and I get to build her practice up. And she's growing very quickly. And these are techniques that we use in her practice as well. So what we are teaching, what we're basically presenting to you guys is the same things that we do in our practice. It's a no-brainer. It's turnkey, and it's how you're going to turn on your community to chiropractic.
Yeah, and guys, I love every single one of you, and I want to make sure that you understand that, for me, it's not about bragging about the practice that I've created, or for Mike to brag about the practice that he was created, is that, whether you're not, you're not successful in your practice, or you're at the very other extreme where you're looking at that next tool to grow, we have to do that. We have to grow because, we can't be selfish and think that, okay, well, we're going to stop here. Well, what about, John, who has a migraine, who's in your community? And what about, this little gentleman here who has autism? When do you stop? And I think we owe it to our community, to deliver our message that we have. And I just hope you guys understand, the value behind getting outside your doors and what this program can bring to your practice and your community.
Yeah. And I think that's about it, Clayton. So we're coming to the end, guys. We want to thank and appreciate all of you for joining us and listening to us. I mean, we just hope that your life is fulfilled and that you've lived to your full potential in your chiropractic practice as we have in ours. And, we're 2 students that are constant and never-ending improving. I mean, I love what I do. I'm 25 years in this profession. I'm hungrier more now than I've ever been, Clayton. I know you are too. So I see the things that you do and things that you create, and how you're building your practice, and you continue to have a record year after record year. So there's no excuses for the doctors on this call not to be able to build a practice like you did.
Yeah, no, and I wish it for everybody because it's life changing.
Really is. Hey guys, listen. Once again, love and appreciate. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, hit the grab my copy now to order yours. $9.97 or 3 payments of $367, $8,000 worth of bonus, but your potential earner, much like Clayton's, over $200,000. If you just applied these tools, played full out like it was your last year in practice, your practice would be transformed. So once again, thanks for being on with us, guys. We love and appreciate you. Have a great night, and hopefully we'll get a chance to meet all of you.
Take care, guys.